Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of our daily market review. Today, Monday just closed, and so we are back to look at how our levels and higher time frame draw on liquidity is faring according to how the day's price action went. Right. So this is dollar index. We could see very nice delivery up candle closing above the opening gap I outlined. So I'll go down to the H4, H1 to watch the delivery for today's price action. My internet is being by was to. All right, so you could see I have this marked out, this inversion gap marked out on the H4, and I expected price to use that as support to rally higher. This is market open. We did consolidate a little bit above the support area, and then finally we saw an expansion closing above the opening gap on the H4. Let's check it out on the H1 how it played. It's basically consolidation, and then we expanded. Price was not in any way or form ready to tap in, even though it did here, it tapped here, then rejected, and then it went into consolidation for the rest of the trading day before we saw the expansion to the upside. That's it. Let's see for EU. EU, the same way I outlined that H4, this one. I wanted to see price come to it, but it was just went into consolidation and then started breaking down. All right. Let's see for GU. GU rather gave us a very nice delivery. See, we went straight into it and then time. Let's check it on the M15 because this is an H4 higher time frame key level. So this is an induced high. It's very clear on the H1, an internal liquidity. On the H1, this is how it looks like. Came down, didn't fail to close, and then price ultimately comes back for it during London. All right, so the high of the day was set in London, and M15. We close above this, below this little gap here. Price failed to go above it, and then we closed back below this tiny proportion block, and then there you saw there. I never came today. I wasn't in the chat. I didn't have any plans of trading today because I just want to see how the week unfolds before I need more clarity and information before I come in. Now let's go to the dollar index to see our expectation for the coming days. So I mentioned that I wanted to see how price reacts here because it is almost at the mid-range of that. You see price is now trading above the higher time frame range equilibrium, closing above the opening gap. We have still more area here to cover, as well as this inverse momentum. So what I will be expecting moving forward is to see dollar use the opening gap as support if there will, and then also move ahead for the target. Okay, so this will be my near-term target. Of course, I'll be watching here for tomorrow I'll be watching what sort of price action we get here, right? So the key levels will be the opening gap and then also this fair value gap in here, the big one. Let's see if there's anything on the H4. Now on the H4, this expansion really counts. So I'm expecting a pullback into the expansion and then a continuation. There's a gap here and then there's another one here. Currently price is trading in this one. So it's expected that we see price coming here. But I wouldn't like to see price close back below this. Once price comes all the way to close below, once price does this, then it is more likely we are going to see downside by counter trading these levels, right? Right, so those are my key levels here, and then this is my area of no go. Okay, this is where I would not like to see price close below, because that would change the entire bullish expectation to the higher time frame draw on liquidity. Right, so far as we stay above that, and then on the M15 we have this reduced levels, and then also we do have this one here, another one. So how should price behave? Maybe we'll come for this. This happens, it means that on the M15 we can take a trade, we can hunt a trade here, right, for the upside, right? So this will be our narrative. This is what we would expect to see before we can get in on a trade on the M15, okay, because this is an H4 range, okay. So on the barest minimum, we want to see price take this out and then that's out, but not really come to close below this invalidation level. Change that to black. Gbpusd. Right, so M1, EU on the H4. Price is actually doing exactly as we wanted, but look at this inefficiency level that has been left. I don't know. Now we are trading in this daily level. We expect price to behave opposite as we are looking for on the dollar index, and so I will be looking at this also. So perhaps price trade back into this block and then continuation to the lower side. This is a good target. All right, that's a good target. So if we come here on this H4 block, no, sorry, this gap, we don't want to see price come all the way to close. We don't want to see price do this above, close above this. It means that we'll invalidate, we'll revert this and then perhaps trade higher, right? So this is my invalidating level, and then also this would be another one. I don't want to see price close above it, and then as well as also above these, right? That case, I would see if we can get a trade like that. All right, so it should play according to how dollar is playing, and everything will be fine. Let's switch to GBP USD. Gbpusd on the daily. The candle close is good. It closed below the previous day's candle. This is good. This is a good sign that we want to see a continuation. So this target, and then also what I have here, these are H4 levels. These are also very good targets. So on the H4, this is going to be the OB. You want to see price hold here. Right, we want to see price react, give us a very good reaction from here for the downside. So on the M15 would like to see price come back above these, perhaps into this, like that. Get some like this, close below these ones. You can look for a trade here to go downside. All right, so we can look for short here. All right. Right. Our stop can go above this value gap. So let's pretty much wait to see how price unfolds moving on for tomorrow. These are what I'll be looking at, considering I still have my bias set to bullish on the H4 on the dollar index. So also we do have news Tuesday. Yes, there's news for USD. So we'll see how this one unfolds, right? So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. If this was any helpful, do like, subscribe, share with your friends who you think may need to see this. If you have any questions, do comment them on the comment section, and I will look at them in the next video. Thank you so much for your time, and I will see you again tomorrow.